Okay, let's see if I could steadily do this. So here's one half of my Yellowstone quilt that I have on the design wall, and we're all shaky, sorry. And here's how, whoops, fingers. I put my rows together, the top one, and then you offset each of the other all the way through the row. So there's the 1 9 patch, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. Then hold up. Okay, I'm back. On the front cover, on the front of this, I showed the half of the Yellowstone quilt that I had completed, and now we're going to. I'm going to do it so you can see how we put it together. A couple people had questions on my last video. Some of them were, do I wash my flannel, my fabric, before I use it? And I do not. I wash everything in cold water, so I haven't had any issue with not washing my flannel first and having it shrink. It could be because I use, what is this? This is a Primitive Gatherings flannel and Bonnie Sullivan, I think. And so it's a high quality flannel that I get from, I got mine from Fat Quarter Shop. You could probably get it at any quilt shop. Anyway, I thought I would get started on how I start to piece these together. I have all my 9 patches done, and I have all my gray. So here's my 9 patches, and here's my background. And this is going to be the lap quilt that's 6 by 7. Okay, let me go like this. So I don't usually put my, for the very first one, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take our setting triangle, and we're going to put it so the big part is up there, okay? Facing towards the window on my thing, or facing away from you. And I'm just going to sew a 1/4 inch pretty sides together. And you could pin it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to put this on here. And I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch from the edge. And sorry that my machine, well, I got to make sure I am, I have to be sure my thread's in the needle. And it is not. So hold on while I do that. My machine sometimes has, well, let's see if I can, let's see if we can get it to automatically thread. Doubtful. Even though it's an automatic threader, I seem to have. All right, and then I can't, I'm too far away to see, so hold on. I hope I don't, the whole side of my face doesn't appear in the screen and be gross, because I look pretty gross with my little ear infection. But I did get some dry shampoo, and that was marvelous. Okay. Get in the hole. All right, we did it. If I don't accidentally yank it out with my finger. Okay. All right, now we're going to sew a 1/4 inch along the edge of this. This is a setting square. So your first block, your 9 patch, goes on two, it's the middle of 2 setting squares. At least that's how I do it. Other people may do it differently. You can go to YouTube and look at how other quilters put together their diagonal piecings. Now I'm going to press towards the background, which is the gray. So I'm going to press towards the gray. Which is just pressing, not wiggling my iron. I'm just pressing. Okay? Now I'm going to, so I have that and that's going up. And I'm going to use my other little square, and I'm going to do the same thing. This one might be a little easier because, and I don't trim off these things yet. I wait. Some people wait to put their setting squares on until they finish all the 9 patch and backgrounds. But this one is 6 by 6 across by 7 down. So I'm going to do a couple of these and show you how you put them together. And at the end I'll show you how you. I do this in 2 parts. I do it in 2, like I've already done one side, now I'm doing the other side. I don't put my setting triangles on the top, the top and bottom, until I'm done. Okay. Ta-da. All right, so that's row 1. All right, so row 2 starts. The row 2 starts with again one of these, but I'm not going to put these on. Okay, I'm not going to put these on anymore until I get a few rows done. So we will go. Where are my gray squares? Oh, right in front of my face. So now I'll have one 9 patch, for this is row 2. A setting square will go here, but I'm not putting it on yet. So I have a 9 patch and a background. I'm going to sew them together. I'm going to always press towards the background when I finish sewing each seam. Okay. Okay. Over there. All right. And now I'm going to add the second one. This is row 2. Row 2 is going, so here's row 1. 9 patch, background, 9 patch. And then, so there's going to be 2 on this one. I'm going to press towards the background. Okay. And then here's row 2. I have, and you will add a setting triangle here. you'll have 9 patch, background, 9 patch, another settings square, triangle. So on row 2, you will have 2 9 patches. All right, so then we'll go to row 3. Guess what? Row 3, you will have a setting triangle off to your left. Then you will have a 9 patch, a square, a background, so your 1/4 inch. Somebody else asked how to me flannel's like working with butter. I have a Bernina 880, and I also have a smaller Bernina, and I have no problems with either of them when sewing on flannel. And I'm pressing towards the background. So now I want to ultimately end up with 3 9 patches on this row, because it is the 3rd row. I do know if you happen to have to take out a seam in flannel, you might want to use your seam ripper, taker-outer, unsewer, whatever it's called, and be very careful, or you can, not shred it, but it'll start fraying. And you can always use fray check if that happens. Okay, so we have 9 patch, this is row 3, 9 patch, background, 9 patch, background. Old hands. Old wrinkled hands. Press towards the background. All right, we need one more 9 patch because we want 3 of them. And I'm sewing pretty sides together when I'm attaching the. And you should have had all of your 9 patches squared to 6.5 inches or whatever they came out to after you sewed them together. And you might have to even them all out. If you have uneven on the, like down here, like it's about an inch off in between, you can trim that up before you put it on the next row, but it'll pretty much be caught in the, it'll be caught up in the seam allowance, which is 1/4 inch, if I forgot to tell you. My seam allowance is 1/4 inch. My stitch length is 2.50 on my Bernina. So you use whatever works for you and your sewing machine. Okay, so on each of these, you're going to then add on, after you get them all put together, there's going to be six rows. So you're going to have row 1. Where did my row 1? Okay, here's row 3. Here is row 2. I need to move this out so you can see what I'm doing. Whoops, other way. Okay, row 2, row 3, and row 1. Where did I put row 1? I just threw it. Row 1. These are going to how you end up putting each of your rows together when you're done. Okay, so row 3, row 2, row 1 with your setting, side setting triangles. At the very top, you'll have a setting triangle that goes up there. And there are 6 rows. So we have 3 more to do. So let's get doing that. And I'll hush up so we can get it done. So row 1. So you can see that you offset these. Your 9 patch will sit right up next to your next row will be a background. Okay, so that's how they're all offset. Ouch. I poked myself with my taker outer. All right. Now we are on row 4. So you're going to have 4 9 patches. Sorry, Lincoln. 4 9 patches. Sorry, Link. Now you're going to try to hide in the cubby, huh? It's fine. All right. Get situated again. We're going to end up with 4 9 patches and 3 backgrounds, 6.5 inch blocks. You would go press to the background. But for purposes of getting this done, to show you what's next, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to press later. Not a good idea, but, you know, it's just for me. I hope I'm not breathing heavy, because I'm kind of out of breath. Talking and breathing takes oxygen, I guess. It's a rhythm, and I need to get to that rhythm and just relax and not worry how I'm breathing. Quarter inch. So remember, this is row 4, so we want 4 9 patches and 3 background squares. 4 9 patch blocks, 3 background squares. Don't want to do any stretching of the fabric because the setting triangles are cut on the bias. You don't want to be doing any pulling or stretching to make things even out. And we are on, I think we're on number 4. And you're going to start and end with a 9 patch because your background is going to be on each of the ends, and on the top, on all the corners, is going to be a setting triangle. What's called a setting triangle. And you can go on, you can put this together however you want. This is how I do it. This is what works for me. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I have to do 5 of them. Okay, there's 4. I have to do, the next row's got 5 9 patches. I could speak. That's 2. That's 1. And now we want 5. 9 patches. Row 5, or this next row is going to have 5 in it. Just ignore how I'm describing it. That's helpful, huh? To ignore what I'm saying. It all comes together, is what I am trying to say. want 5 9 patches on this one. Nine patch background, 9 patch background, 9 patch background. Before you sew the rows together, you'll make sure your rows are even on the bottom or in the top. Well, actually, you only have to make sure they're even on the bottom of the row. And if you have to trim off, it'll be very little. It'll be like 1/8 of an inch, if that. As long as you squared up your blocks. Each seam pulls things in and up and all around. So we have 2. This is 3. Oops. I'm gonna make sure that seam is flat. 9 patch background. 9 patch background. Come on. 9 patch background. I use a 1/4 inch foot, which is very helpful. And the 9 patch. They put a new cutter in, but still, for some reason. 1 2 3. This is 4. When I'm sewing in a straight line, keeping my fabric right on the edge of my 1/4 inch foot. My sister Cheryl said the key to sewing a straight line is keeping your eyes ahead of you instead of on the needle and where you're at. And she's accurate, because if I keep my eyes right on the needle instead of where I want to end up, I must get bored or something at the end, because I'll invariably go by the time I get to the end. So, good advice from Cheryl. Keep my eyes where I'm even doing, especially when doing diagonal seams, that's really a good idea. Then you don't even have to mark your seam with a pencil or anything. All right, where are we at now? 1 2 3 4. One more. And then we will do one with 6 9 patches on it. And then I will lay them out and show you where we're going with it. You're going to end with 9 patch, because your last background will be a setting triangle. So we have 1 2 3 4 5. Now we have to do the 6th row. Well, it's not really the 6th row, but I'll show it to you when we lay it out. But we want 6 9 patches in this. There's 1 and 5. 6 9 patches, 5 background squares, blocks, 6.5 inch blocks. All of these are except for the very first one, is starting with a 9 patch. The first one I put the setting squares on as we went, just to show you the offset and the placement of them, which is away from your sewing machine. Don't do them so the peaks are towards you. You want your triangle peak to be going this way and flush on the bottom side. Otherwise, you can really easily get put them on backwards or in the wrong direction. Because remember, directionally impaired me and Cheryl, not the older sister, she can guide herself wherever she needs to go without any issues. I think she pays attention. I think Cheryl and I have a bit of ADHD where we wander in our brains, and so, you know, who knows where we'll end up. So we have 1 2 3. And remember on this one I needed, what is it, 42 9 patches and 36.5 inch blocks. And I don't remember how many. We need 4 big setting triangles, and then the side setting triangles are 4 or 2, I can't remember. I think the way I'm doing it, you only need 2. Setting triangles, and on the rest of the side I don't. We'll see when I lay this out. Okay, that's pretty fast. We got these. When I came in here, I thought, oh my gosh, it's going to take forever. Well, it is kind of taking forever. I could speed this up. Let's see where we at. We got 6 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 more. 2 more 9 patches. Oops, I did. That's not how I wanted that, but oh well. It's kind of scrappy. You should be